Today, we're talking about breaking bad habits and why everything you've heard about willpower is wrong. Let's face it, you're tired of breaking promises to yourself. You've said, "This is the year I start a side hustle, lose weight, wake up earlier, or stop binge watching." And yet, here you are, same cycle. But it's not because you're weak or lazy, you've just been doing it the wrong way. The truth? Willpower alone is the worst strategy for change. Stick with me, and by the end of this, you won't just understand why breaking habits feels impossible, you'll have a proven strategy to crush them. No gimmicks, no fluff, just results. This could change everything. Why breaking bad habits feels impossible. Most of us try to break bad habits the same way we attack New Year's resolutions, blindly and fueled by good intentions. And sure, it works for a few days, but then life happens. You get stressed, tired, or bored, and boom, you're back to square one. The problem isn't you, it's your brain. Once you understand how habits actually work, you'll see why fighting them is pointless, and why the real solution is something you've probably never tried before. How habits actually work. Before we reveal the secret, let's look at how habits actually work. Your brain loves habits because they save energy. Every time you do something enjoyable, like eating cookies or scrolling TikTok, your brain rewards you with dopamine, the feel-good chemical. It's like a little nice job pat on the back that makes you want to do it again. Do it enough times, and your brain puts the habit on autopilot. And when you try to stop, your brain throws a tantrum. Why? Because resisting habits relies on your frontal lobe, the logical part of your brain that controls willpower. But here's the problem. Willpower is like a cheap battery. It runs out fast, especially when you're stressed or tired. But there's a better way, a smarter way, that works with your brain instead of against it. The secret to breaking bad habits without willpower. Now, let me ask you this. When was the last time you actually paid attention to the habits you want to break? I mean, really notice them? If your answer is never, don't worry, you're not alone. Imagine this. You're staring at a bag of chips, telling yourself, "Don't eat it, don't eat it." 5 minutes later, you're knee-deep in crumbs, feeling like a failure. What if I told you the solution isn't to resist the chips? It's to eat them. Yep, eat them. But get this, eat them with awareness. Habits thrive on mindlessness, and when you interrupt that autopilot, you start breaking the cycle. And that, my friend, changes everything. It works because awareness breaks the loop. You shift out of autopilot and regain control. The frontal lobe strengthens. You're literally rewiring your brain, improving impulse control. You reduce the fight. No need to suppress cravings. Just observe them. The practical steps to break any bad habit. So how do you actually use this knowledge to break habits without willpower? It all starts with the last thing you'd expect. Step 1. Stop resisting the urge. This sounds crazy, right? But hear me out. Resisting drains your energy and makes you feel like a failure when you inevitably slip up. Instead, lean into the habit, but do it differently. Craving sugar? Eat the dessert, but do it mindfully. Notice the texture, the taste, the sweetness. Take your time to fully experience every bite. Suddenly, it's not about shoving cookies in your face. It's about breaking the autopilot. But I don't have time for that. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. You say you don't have time, or are you just dabbling? Be honest. You've got time to scroll TikTok for hours, but not 15 minutes to work on yourself? You've rewatched your favorite show for the 7th time, but you don't have time to spend a few minutes working on your future? You've probably said "next week" so many times that it's basically become your catchphrase. Yeah, I said it. If any of that stings, good, it should. Change starts with accountability, and accountability starts with you. Step 2. Observe the craving before acting. This might seem simple, but it's where the real magic happens. The next time a craving hits, don't act on it right away. Pause, even for 5 seconds. Ask yourself, what does this craving feel like? Is it stress, boredom, habit? Just that pause is enough to start shifting control from your autopilot to the logical part of your brain. Step 3. Build awareness of the habit itself. Here's something most people don't realize. Even if you give in to the habit, do it consciously. Track how it feels before, during, and after. Was it worth it? Was it even enjoyable? Probably not. That awareness chips away at the habit every single time. Step 4. Strengthen the frontal lobe. You don't need more willpower. You need a stronger brain. Think of your frontal lobe like a muscle. Every time you observe instead of acting on autopilot, you're giving it a workout. And like any muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. Step 5. Celebrate small wins. This might sound trivial, but trust me, it's a game changer. Notice the craving without giving in? Win. Paused for 10 seconds before eating that cookie? Another win. Progress isn't about perfection. It's about stacking those tiny victories until they become unstoppable momentum. What happens when you master this? At first, this might feel pointless, like you're not actually doing anything. But stick with it, and you'll notice real changes. Cravings lose their power. You feel more in control of your actions. Habits that felt impossible to break, they start fading on their own. This isn't just some feel-good theory. It's backed by neuroscience, and it works if you work it. Work with your brain, not against it. Breaking bad habits isn't about being stronger. It's about being smarter. So next time you feel that urge, don't resist. Observe, because awareness beats willpower every time. Here's the part where I get real with you. No one's gonna do this for you. Not me, not your mom, not some magical self-help guru. You've got the tools now, but it's up to you to use them. What's one habit you're ready to tackle? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear about it. And if this lit a fire under you, hit subscribe for more real talk and brain hacks. 2025 has already started. Are you ready to stop making excuses and start making moves? Because no one's coming to save you. But you've got this. Let's go.